Hey doc, what if I just don't want to focus on my health all the time? What if I just really don't want to have to pay that much attention? Do I really have to live like that to get results? What if I don't want to pay attention to my health all the time? Hey, does this resonate with you? We're going to be talking about this today and 3 tips for what you can do if this sentiment feels like you. Hey, I'm Dr. Topher Fox. I'm an endocrinologist in Superior, Colorado, and today we are talking about how to get results and specifically what to do when you run up against that feeling, that emotion of, this just seems really hard. I don't really want to have to be thinking about my health all the time, 100% of the time. I used to race bicycles, and when I was doing road racing, there'd be a pack of bicycles, sometimes a pack of 50, 70, 80 guys, and there was this interesting thing that happened when racing in a pack, which is particularly as the crucial moments of the race happen, whether it's the sprint at the end or maybe earlier on there's a key climb or something that's going to separate riders. When those crucial moments happen, really to have any chance of being successful to win or have a chance of winning, you need to be near the front of the pack. If you're already at the back of the pack when you hit that key climb, then there's no hope of getting a good result. And so this funny thing happens, this funny observation, which is when you're in the pack, really you always need to be thinking about moving up. Always need to look for little openings where you can pass other riders and move forward. And when you stop thinking about moving forward and you just relax, you actually find that you end up moving backwards in the pack. You end up going backwards. Other riders are moving around because they all want to be at the front as well. And so when you're not paying attention, when you're not moving forward, you actually end up moving backwards. I think this provides a good analogy for our discussion today, which is to say, to think about being at your best physically, to think about being the hero in your own life and using proper nutrition, regular movement or exercise, and quality sleep to be able to get those results. In a way, you always do need to be thinking about how can I move forward? How can I improve? How can I keep doing those things that get me to be successful? If you think about your finances, right? If you stop paying attention to those, or if you just spend willy-nilly for a time, it might be survivable. You might end up doing just fine, but you probably won't get the results that you want if you were a little bit more focused in your attention. Same thing might be true for career development or for a new relationship, perhaps with a potential future partner or spouse. If you're not paying attention, if you're not looking to say, how can I improve? Or if basically you take your hands off the steering wheel, then you don't end up going where you want to go. And, for today, I told you I really want to give you 3 tips. So the idea here would be that we want to think about ways to make it easier to pay attention or to focus attention. And we want to think about ways perhaps even to automate that, to eliminate the decision making so that we can more effortlessly be paying attention, be doing those things that move us forward without necessarily having to feel like it is a big mental burden every day. So let me share just 3 tips. These are not a conclusive list, but I thought they were 3 that would be really usable for you today. And the first one is to establish rhythms. Look to establish rhythms for those things that help you to stay on track, that help you to stay focused. That might be being around certain people. That might involve preparation, for instance, doing a particular shopping trip each week so that you have good food around, And in our training programs, one of the most simple yet most powerful, this is what our clients have said, most simple but most powerful things has been something called a morning routine, where you use a skill called intention setting, where you choose those 1 or 2 or maybe 3 things that are going to be really important to get done during the day, and you actually write them out in the morning with as much detail about where and when you're going to get these things done. I'm going to exercise in the park with Susie at 11 a.m. before picking my kid up from school. You actually write that down in as much detail as you can. You actually double your chance of following through on that. So number one is to establish rhythms. Look for those things that you can put into your life that just help make it easier to remind you or to keep you on track. Number two is to think about anticipating challenges. There was a really interesting study of folks who had type 2 diabetes following a dietary intervention, trying to choose to eat healthy or trying to eat healthy following this particular program. And they found 4 skills, but I really love this one that I just want to pull out for you. This one skill of anticipating challenges, looking to say, hey, what's coming up today or this week that I think is going to be particularly challenging that might knock me off track? Because if I want to stay on track and I think something might knock me off track, why, then you can start to experiment a little bit. You can think about ways that you might overcome that challenge. Let's say that you have an office party this week and you know that in the past when you've had office party, particularly the combination of alcohol and rich foods, you end up eating more and drinking more than you had desired when you went to the party. And so you might think about, well, hey, for the first half of the party, I'm only going to drink soda water, or hey, I'm going to have a friend who's going to help me stay on track, or hey, I'm going to set up a little bit farther away from the bar or from the buffet table so that it's not such a temptation for me. When you anticipate challenges, you can start thinking about solutions. And then finally, number 3, and this one you may not have heard about before, but it is also really powerful, is to think about building the skill of getting back on track quickly. Building the skill of getting back on track quickly. So if you actually take some time as you are moving forward, as you're making progress, to notice what's going well, what's working for you. We're not wired to think this way, but you notice what's working for you. And then you notice when a challenge comes up and you get knocked off track, hopefully you can get back more quickly. It's been interesting that a number of studies have shown that when people have setbacks in their health, often it's something that takes them out of their routine for a period of time. So if you've been getting great progress and then something comes up, you get put on night shift or your mom gets sick, and now you kind of fall off your program for a month. Well, what would life look like if rather than falling off for a month, you were only off for a week because you noticed, hey, I'm off track, I need to put some attention here and get back to what was working for me? Or what if it was, instead of a week, you got back in a day, or instead of a day, you got back in an hour? You get the point. There is a great potential strength to using this idea that when you develop that skill of noticing you're off track and getting back on track quickly, you can actually accelerate your results, because essentially you end up going less far backwards. So when you're knocked off track, you don't end up going so far backwards, so that when you get back on track, you're already ready to make progress, to get that next step, to get to that new level for you. So again, remember these 3. Think about building rhythms, think about anticipating challenges, and think about building this skill to get back on track quickly. Now, as we wrap up for today, if you are in particular a woman 50 plus with prediabetes, we have training just like this that covers the full gamut of the Be the Hero spectrum. How to picture the hero, how to train the body, how to fight this dragon that tries to knock us off track, keep us from following through on our good intentions. Because these are the 3 things: picture the hero, train the body, fight the dragon. The 3 things that you need to do to be the hero in your own life, to show up powerfully for your family, your friends, your business, career, whatever is important. We all want to be the hero in our own life. When we have good health, we can focus outward. We can be the hero. When we lose our health, it makes us focus inward, keeps us from being the hero. So if you are a woman 50 plus with prediabetes, I encourage you to think about joining our membership, our community, our training program, reversingprediabetes.com. You can find the link up there or down below. It will have all of the details. You can try us out. First month is always just $1 and then a low monthly fee thereafter. We hope to see you in there. It's a great community. It is growing all the time. Wonderful people who are getting real results to be the heroes in their own lives. So I'm going to wrap up and sign off. Again, Dr. Topher Fox. As always, I wish you peace. And until next time, take care.